There is only one scale. Learn that scale and you can play anything. When I was young, my best friend gave me a CD of the greatest guitarist of all time. That led me to a path to learn about music. There is only one scale. Learn that scale and you can play anything. I've seen a lot of people try to explain that, but they fall short. So I came up with my own book. And all of those tables and theories and graphs I summarized in one short formula. C major is equal to A minor, which was the basis of the concept of one. C major is equal to A minor. That's already your Ionian and your Aeolian scale, which is your major and your minor. So now we just have to talk about Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, and Locrian. So let's take a look at the table explaining all the modes. If you notice, it's a mouthful, so I'm sure that a lot of people will get confused with this table. The nice thing with the concept of one, you don't need all of this. So you just need one. So let's get rid of the rest. Let's just leave the C major scale. So let's put Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti. It's also the basis of all of the names of the modes, like Ionian is for Do, Dorian is for Re, Phrygian is for Mi, and so on and so forth. You have two things to consider, the major scale and the major chord progression. What confuses people is that when you say D Dorian, they would think that it is in the key of D. And that's where they get it wrong. The simple explanation to this is that it is an order of prioritization. You will be prioritizing the second position of your scale and your chord progression. Even if you start with a D minor, it is still part of a C major chord progression. That is very important to remember. So, let's take a look at that table again. We don't need all of this since it's the concept of one. So we're just going to use one simplified technique. So let's put back the scale, Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti. Let's revisit the intervals per note. If you don't know this tutorial is not for you. Go back to basics. Now this is the interesting part because I use my hands to locate the mode. So let's get a close-up of the fingers. So you might ask, why are they not the same? The long fingers are the major, the short ones are the minor, and the last finger is the diminished. Since we know that, let's just place the names of the modes on each finger. And let's not forget that there are intervals. I'll just put one before the Ionian and one in between Phrygian and Lydian, since we know that the others are just two steps or two intervals. So now, we can try to attempt to locate the mode. For example, I have a C-sharp Phrygian. I just move up. Since I know that it is just one interval, so C-sharp becomes D, then it becomes E, then it becomes F-sharp, then it becomes G-sharp. Since it's only one interval going back, it becomes A. So I know that C-sharp Phrygian is also A major scale. So another example, if I have a B Aeolian, I know it's two steps, so it becomes C-sharp. Then it's one step going back, so it becomes D. So I know now that B Aeolian is also a D major scale. So for example, I have a D Lydian, then D becomes E, and E becomes F sharp, and F sharp becomes G sharp, and going back, since I know it's just one interval, it becomes A. So D Lydian is also A major scale. It's quite complicated at first, but if you realize it, you don't need this table anymore. So hopefully it can help you to know what kind of scale you are using. This system will not only show you what key you are in, but also the correct chords to use in any key. I want to show people how easy music can be if you can understand how it works.